Welcome to Be the Cause of Life on Purpose. And welcome to today's word, which is to be the cause of disruption. Now, for some of you, this word might be a little bit startling. And I want to share with you that I've been focusing on it for, 6 or 9 months now. Some of you might have seen it in my email signature, which says, be committed to relentlessly self-disrupt. And part of what caused me to do this was that I realized how easy it is to become, maybe too comfortable, too complacent. Life's too easy, being around people that share my point of view, that share my worldview, that share my cultural context, that share my language, that share my professional work, all the ways in which things are comfortable and familiar. And I realized that in doing that, I was causing my ability to critically think and my ability to originate and to create a couple of the generative capacities. I was limiting how well I was able to do that. And as a result, I thought, I wonder if I could run a little experiment with myself. If I was, and here's the practice for today, if I was very intentional every single day to say to myself when I get up, and this is my practice, what's one thing I always do every day that I won't do today, and start to see what does open up for me in my perceiving as a result of that. And I was thinking this morning that one of the things that I do every day is have a cup of coffee when I get up at the start of the day. And I got home late from an airplane last evening and hadn't made coffee. So it didn't end up being the first thing that I did. Instead, what I did was kind of sit up in bed and I took a few minutes in the quiet. No coffee, no starting my brain moving on what I was doing today, but allowing myself to reconnect to my home that I love and the place that I live, which is out in nature. And I realized that it has influenced the entire way in which I've experienced my day today, simply by disrupting that one habit. Now, all of our habits in our lives are not that as easy to disrupt as maybe skipping a cup of coffee in the beginning of the morning. And yet what I realized is that it was the practice of saying, I will disrupt one thing that I do as a habit every day to see what would open in my perceiving. It started to build some appreciation for disruption. And once I started to have that, and for the brain scientists here, I could start to feel the reward of oxytocin for the wonder associated with seeing what was different, perceiving and experiencing my life a little differently without that habit. In some cases, it's brought me back to some very pleasurable memories of a simpler time in my life, which, oh gosh, I'm in charge of creating that simpler time in my rhythm. And have that capacity now as a mature adult to examine what really motivates the choices that I make, and are they most aligned with the things that bring me alive? That's my responsibility. We talk about this as living the sovereign life, and meaning to be self-ruling, to be your own king and queen of the choices that we make about how we relate to our lives. And so to me, what I've learned is that it all begins with being relentlessly committed to self-disruption, hence the theme of the word for the day. So my wish for you as you go through the rest of your day today and maybe into tomorrow before the Daily Dose returns is notice just one thing, and maybe keep doing this for a little while. Notice one thing that you'll disrupt in your habit and see what opens up in your perceiving. So that's all for today. Until tomorrow, be the cause of life on purpose and have some fun experimenting with disruption.